Welcome to Mom Bombs, the podcast that takes an honest look at the joys and challenges of motherhood. I'm your host, Megan Short. I want to start off by introducing myself and telling you a little bit more about me. I gave birth to 3 very strong and beautiful females. They are very independent and opinionated, with some of my personality as well as their dads. Sometimes it's a little bit of an interesting mixture to see the creations we've made. But at the end of the day, I love and adore all 3 of them, even though they can drive me absolutely crazy sometimes. But when they're gone for even a few hours, I miss them. Some days, it's like I'm even arguing with myself, which my husband thinks is hilarious, but I usually find annoying. Sometimes I'm proud of how they stand up for themselves, but on the other hand, we can't both be right. Being a mom is very hard sometimes, but it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. I'm definitely not perfect, and I make a lot of mistakes, but I've never been a mom before. If I was a mom in my past life, I did not carry any of that knowledge over with me at all. The thing about being a mom is a lot of learning as you go and learning from your mistakes and trying to do better. There's no amount of parenting books or advice or parenting classes that are going to fully prepare you for parenthood. No 2 kids are ever the same, and there's no way to predict the personality that your kids are going to have. So, having said all that, I want to explain why I wanted to start a podcast. I am not a famous person, and I don't have a whole lot of friends, but I am a mom. I hear so many different podcasts about so many different topics in life, and I find them so interesting. Also helpful. There are a few that I've listened to where I've completely related to the topics that they're discussing, and there are some that I disagree with. I feel like there's so many things that I come across being a mom that could be helpful to other people to hear my experiences. That's why I wanted to start a podcast, because if my experiences or my advice or how I feel happens to help anyone or make it feel like they are not alone in their journey, I definitely want to do that. This podcast isn't intended for just moms to listen to. My husband and father of my kids, I think, benefits sometimes from seeing what I go through as a mom, just like I am able to see what he goes through as a dad, because no matter how much we want to ignore it, being a parent does affect your marriage and the type of spouse that you are. The reason I chose the name Mom Bombs is because I am a mom, and I think there are a lot of things that we don't talk about, and that's where the truth bombs come in, and also curse bombs, because I do swear a lot. However, there are good bombs too, full of joy and love and happiness. So, like I said before, this isn't just for moms. Maybe there are dads out there that want to know what moms go through, or teenagers or whatnot that want to know what their parents go through, or maybe other people that want to become parents that just want to hear what journeys are like for other people. There are going to be so many various topics that I talk about, and that's just because when you're a mom, there's not just one particular set of things that you go through. Anything can happen. I've dealt with things in my life that I would never expected. The thing about being a mom is it affects every aspect and decision in your life. Anything from what you're going to buy at the grocery store so that you can feed your entire family, or how much shampoo and conditioner you need to buy because you aren't the only one using it, or when you can schedule doctor's appointments for yourself because you have to work around the kids' schedule, school schedule. I mean, everything you do is based around being a mom. And that is one of the hard truths. So, being a mom is so important to me, and I just want to do my best. I truly hope that this podcast can help people, and if no one listens, then it will at least be helping myself. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of topics I talk about that, not everyone agrees with or has a difference of opinion, but listening to other parents, I've actually learned a lot, and sometimes things have changed my mind and how I think or look at things. My kids are getting older. I have my oldest just turned 18, and she's a senior, which I will do an episode about each of them. And then I have a 15, almost 16-year-old, and a 12, almost 13-year-old. So not babies anymore, which I definitely miss those days. They seem so much easier. It seems like the older they get, the more they just kind of bicker and argue. But, I have a younger sister, and she's 5 years younger than me, and we argued all the time. But once we became adults, we really appreciated our mom and each other because, you just realize the things that are important in life. So, this is my introductory episode, so it's going to be a little shorter than the rest of them. My hope is to have one episode a week for a 20-minute episode. So please bear with me as I learn how to navigate running a podcast. And I do apologize because I've had a deathly cough for 2 months. So you may hear some of that coming across the podcast, so I apologize. I do hope that if you have any questions or comments, that you let me know, because I'm learning and I'm opening myself up to people. So if anyone has any comments, I'm certainly open to listening to those or answering any questions you might have. I do want to say thank you for tuning in to my first episode of Mom Bombs. Be sure to follow to stay up to date on new episodes, and we'll see you next time. The Mom Bomb Podcast Instagram page is mom_bombs_podcast. That is MOM_BOMBS_PODCAST. Thank you, and see you next time.